Everything you've been told about energy is wrong. Completely. This isn't what they taught you in school. This isn't what your parents understood. This isn't what the gurus whisper on their stages. This is what they hid. It's what they buried. It's the truth that unlocks everything. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Your life, your reality, it shifts forever. Get ready. Have you ever truly wondered why you feel so utterly drained at the end of the day? Not just physically weary, but something deeper, something that settles in your bones, in your very soul. Have you ever questioned why the harder you try, the more elusive peace seems to become? Why the very things you chase success, love, happiness often feel like they're just out of reach, like sand slipping through your fingers no matter how tightly you clench your fist? Do you ever feel like you're constantly fighting an invisible current, always pushing, always striving, yet never quite arriving at that promised land of ease and abundance you've been told about? Have you stopped to consider that perhaps the struggle itself isn't a flaw in you, not a personal failing, but a fundamental feature of the system you're unknowingly navigating? What if the very act of trying so hard, of pushing and forcing, is part of the problem? What if the truth about your own inherent energy has been deliberately, systematically distorted for generations? They want you tired. They want you confused. They want you distracted. Think about it. From the very moment you opened your eyes this morning, you were bombarded. The relentless news cycle, designed to induce fear and division, the endless pings and notifications pulling your attention in 1,000 directions, the curated perfection of social media, subtly whispering messages of inadequacy into your subconscious, the insidious subliminal messages of lack embedded in every single advertisement telling you you're not enough, not thin enough, not rich enough, not happy enough until you buy this product. Subscribe to that service. Chase that next fleeting high. Your entire education system, from its rigid structure to its focus on memorization over genuine understanding, was designed to standardize, to categorize, to fit you neatly into a predefined box. It was never truly about fostering your unique brilliance, your innate curiosity, your boundless creativity. It was about conformity. It was about creating a manageable, predictable workforce, a compliant citizenry. That was never an accident. It was a deliberate, almost unconscious, overarching design, a blueprint for control. They programmed you to look outside yourself for validation, for answers, for worth. They taught you to fear uncertainty, to crave external approval, to believe that your value was intrinsically tied to your productivity, your possessions, your performance, your external achievements. Like a phone left on all night, its battery slowly, inexorably draining under a fake, artificial light. You've been plugged into a vast, intricate system that constantly siphons your authentic, limitless power. It tells you to consume, to achieve, to chase, to acquire, but it never tells you to be. It never tells you to feel. It never tells you to remember the truth of who you are. This constant outward focus, this relentless, exhausting pursuit of external markers, it leaves you hollow. It leaves you profoundly depleted. It leaves you wondering why, despite all your frantic efforts, all your ceaseless striving, you still feel empty. This isn't just about feeling physically tired. This is about feeling deeply, fundamentally disconnected. This is about a profound cellular amnesia, a forgetting of your true nature. They fabricated a matrix of distraction, a sophisticated illusion woven from countless threads of fear and desire, a dense, impenetrable veil shrouding the profound truth of your own infinite potential. They diligently implanted in your mind insidious ideas of scarcity, of fierce competition, of inherent lack, the pervasive belief that you must constantly fight to survive, that you must claw and grasp and scramble for every tiny sliver of happiness, of success, of love. This was never the truth. Energy is not scarce. It is boundless. Resources are not limited. They are abundant. But if you are conditioned to believe in scarcity, if you are programmed to perceive lack, then you will inevitably act from a place of scarcity. And when you act from a place of scarcity, from fear and desperation, you inevitably create more scarcity in your own life. This is a vicious cycle, a self-reinforcing prison. But the key to unlock this prison, to dismantle this illusion, has always been within your grasp. They didn't actually take your power from you. They simply convinced you that you never had it in the first place. It is an illusion. A grand, elaborate illusion meticulously cultivated and sustained by fear and widespread ignorance. This is not for everyone. This truth, this deep dive. But if this speaks to you, if these words resonate deep within your bones, if you feel a stirring, a recognition in the core of your being, then you already know. You already sense this truth. You felt it nagging at you, a quiet whisper in the back of your mind. Don't dismiss it. Don't try to explain it away with logic or reason. Just lean into that feeling. Allow it to guide you. But here's the most crucial catch. The problem isn't exclusively out there, not entirely. The external systems, yes, they play a formidable, undeniable part. They set the stage, but the true, most significant leakage of your power, it's happening inside. It's the intricate, often unconscious way your internal system has adapted to survive and navigate within those overwhelming external pressures. Your emotions, your highly sensitive nervous system, the persistent, insidious subconscious scripts running on an endless loop, often without your awareness. Every fear, every doubt, every unresolved past wound you haven't truly processed, every unexpressed grief you've buried deep down each of these is a tiny, yet persistent, crack in your energetic field. And through those invisible cracks, your vital life force slowly, inexorably drains away. You are leaking power. Not because you're broken, not because you're flawed or weak, but because you've been systematically taught how to manage, how to cope, how to survive, rather than how to truly master, how to truly govern your rich, complex inner world. You were told from a very young age to suppress your anger, to hide your sadness, to avoid pain at all costs. So, dutifully, unconsciously, you built formidable walls around your heart. You created elaborate emotional defenses. You learned to dissociate from the very crucial signals your body was sending you. The vital information flowing through your being, those uncomfortable feelings, they were never weaknesses, never flaws to be eradicated. They were, in fact, powerful messengers. They were trying desperately to tell you where you were out of alignment, where you were abandoning yourself. But instead of listening, instead of integrating, you numbed, you distracted. You pushed them down, deep into the recesses of your subconscious. And every single time you push down an emotion, every single time you suppress the feeling, you simultaneously push down a piece of your vital, flowing energy. You created an internal dam, holding back a roaring torrent of unprocessed life, of unexpressed truth. And that dam, that constant act of suppression, takes an immense, unseen amount of energy to maintain. That's why you're tired. That's why you feel heavy. It's the invisible, exhausting labor of constantly holding yourself back from your own authentic expression, from your own truth. Your energy is not an inexhaustible resource to be squandered on external distractions and relentless external pressures. It is the very fuel for your vibrant life. It is the raw material for your boundless creativity. It is the source of your deep, inherent inner wisdom. But when you continuously expend it fighting against yourself, when you endlessly use it to maintain obsolete narratives, to conform to the ever-shifting expectations of others, you will inevitably run dry. Your nervous system becomes chronically overstimulated, perpetually overloaded. It constantly broadcasts a low-level signal of danger, danger, danger. Even when there's no literal tiger lurking in the bushes, your internal system operates as though there is. That's why you sleep fitfully. That's why you experience inexplicable anxiety. That's why you might find yourself easily agitated, or conversely, prone to sudden, overwhelming apathy and a desire to simply give up. Your body is perpetually locked in a dance with the past, stuck in a debilitating loop of mere survival rather than true, expansive, thriving. It cannot release energy for genuine creation, for profound joy, for authentic connection, because it's constantly preoccupied with protecting you from a perceived threat that often exists only within the confines of your own mind. Now, truly consider the incessant internal conversations, that relentless, often cruel inner voice that ceaselessly judges, doubts, criticizes, and belittles you. That voice is not you. It is a script, a deeply ingrained program installed within you, often from painful past experiences, from the echoes of childhood wounds, from the limiting beliefs absorbed from your environment. Every single time you listen to it, every single time you give it your precious attention, every single time you believe its insidious whispers, you inadvertently continue to feed it your vital energy. You give it more power, and it in turn uses that very power to keep you meticulously trapped, confined within its limited perception. You are in essence binding yourself with invisible chains, not an external enemy, but an internal pattern. A pattern that was learned, that was repeated endlessly, until it became an ingrained, deeply rooted habit. And these habits, these internal programs, though often invisible to the naked eye, are precisely the largest, most significant holes in your energetic field. They are the insidious conduits through which your life force continuously, relentlessly leaks away. Let that land, truly. Don't scroll yet. Don't rush past this. You're tired because your soul has been screaming, not for more external validation, not for another fleeting achievement, but for profound internal recognition, for radical self-acceptance. You've been living in a state of subtle, chronic alarm, your nervous system perpetually engaged in the exhausting dance of fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. This isn't a moral failing. This isn't a sign of weakness. This is a biological adaptation, a finely tuned response to perceived threat. But when that threat is largely internal, the deep-seated fear of not being enough, the crippling anxiety of failure, the profound grief of unacknowledged loss, your body remains in a state of hypervigilance, constantly. And that constant vigilance, that perpetual state of readiness, consumes an unimaginable, staggering amount of your vital life force. You've been running on fumes, believing that this chronic exhaustion was normal, believing that suffering was a prerequisite for growth, for success, for spiritual enlightenment. It isn't, it has never been. Perhaps you've persistently ignored the quiet whispers of your intuition, the persistent aches and pains in your body that no doctor can fully explain, the sudden overwhelming waves of sadness or anger that wash over you for no apparent external reason. Maybe you've habitually pushed through the profound burnout, told yourself to just keep going, to just suck it up, because stopping felt like weakness, because stopping felt like failure, because stopping felt like admitting defeat in a world that constantly demands more. But the truth is, your body knows, your spirit knows, and it's been trying relentlessly to get your attention. It's been trying desperately to show you the way back to your true self, to the abundant, powerful, luminous being you are always inherently meant to be. This moment, this feeling of resonance, is not a coincidence. It's an invitation, an urgent divina invitación. If this speaks to you, if these words have resonated deep within your core, then don't do it for me. Don't do it for anyone else, for any external validation. Do it for your future self, for the self that is patiently waiting to emerge, unburdened, radiant, and gloriously free. Take the next step. Just acknowledge this feeling. You don't need more energy. That's the profound, liberating secret. You need less friction, less resistance, less internal warfare. The energy is always there. It flows through everything in the universe. It flows through you, a boundless, inexhaustible current. The universe isn't holding back on you. It's not selectively withholding its abundance. You're holding back on yourself. The true reclamation of your power begins not by doing more, not by adding more tasks to your already overflowing plate, but by undoing what no longer serves you. By releasing the old patterns, the limiting beliefs, the emotional baggage that has weighed you down for far too long. It begins with a simple yet radical choice. Not a choice of external action, but a profound choice of internal presence. A conscious choice to feel, to breathe, to allow, to surrender to the natural flow of your being. Imagine for a moment, just breathe deeply. Feel your belly expand with each inhale, soften with each exhale. Feel your feet firmly on the ground, connected to the earth beneath you. Feel the cool air moving in and out of your body, a gentle rhythm. This simple act, this profound rootedness, it's not just breathing, it's a powerful declaration. It's you telling your nervous system with every single breath, I am safe, I am here, now. It's a subtle shift, but it's profoundly transformative. Every single time you choose to truly feel an emotion, to truly allow it to move through you, rather than pushing it away, rather than suppressing it, you dissolve another small piece of that internal dam. You release vast stores of stagnant, trapped energy. You bring fragmented, exiled parts of yourself back home, back into the embrace of your wholeness. This time you don't abandon yourself. You witness yourself with compassion. You hold yourself with tenderness. You become your own unwavering anchor, your own unwavering source of strength. Power doesn't look like forceful effort. It doesn't look like brute strength or aggressive striving. It looks like profound clarity. It looks like deep, unshakable stillness. It looks like radical, unconditional self-acceptance. When you finally stop fighting against yourself, when you cease resisting what is, when you align with your true nature, the universal current that has always been flowing through you, that has always sought to express itself through you, it flows unimpeded. You become a pure conduit, not a struggling reservoir desperately trying to hold water against the inevitable leaks, but a magnificent river, allowing the divine flow to move freely, effortlessly through you. You remember your inherent sovereignty. You remember with every cell of your being that you are the conscious creator of your experience, not merely a helpless victim of external circumstances. This isn't about forced manifestation, about trying to coerce the universe. This is about deep, profound allowing. Allowing your true radiant nature to emerge. Allowing the universe to abundantly support you in every single way. Allowing yourself to finally receive the good that is always seeking you. This law, this hidden truth, it permeates everything. It's the whisper of the wind, the pulse of the ocean, the silent growth of a seed into a mighty tree. It's the undeniable truth that your inner state, your vibrational frequency, your dominant emotional resonance absolutely, unequivocally creates your outer reality. Not sometimes, not often, always. It's the ultimate, undeniable feedback loop. It's the mechanism through which your thoughts and feelings become your manifest reality. And now, you know. Now, you cannot unknow it. This awareness is a gift. This awareness is a key. Imagine waking up each morning feeling truly deeply rested. Not just physically, but energetically, emotionally, spiritually. Imagine facing your day with an inner calm, a profound stillness that no external chaos, no unexpected challenge can possibly disturb. Imagine your decisions flowing effortlessly from a place of deep, intuitive knowing, rather than from frantic reaction or anxious overthinking. Imagine your relationships becoming profound mirrors of your own inner wholeness, your own self-love, rather than battlegrounds for desperate validation or subtle manipulation. This isn't a distant, unattainable dream. This isn't a fantasy reserved for a select few. This is your birthright. This is the magnificent future that is patiently, persistently calling you into being. You are not broken. You are not flawed beyond repair. You are simply returning returning to the profound truth of who you are, returning to your innate, boundless power. You're not watching this by accident. This isn't just another random video in your endless feed. This is a resonant frequency. This is a powerful, undeniable call to awaken, a call to profoundly remember. The universe works in subtle, yet incredibly precise ways. It puts these vital messages in your path, right in front of your eyes, exactly when you are ready, when you are truly, deeply ready to hear them, when you are ready to finally see the truth, when you are ready to reclaim what was always, always yours. The hidden law of the universe isn't some complex, arcane formula. It's not an elite secret guarded by a chosen few. It's exquisitely simple. It's radically empowering. It's this: your inner state creates your outer reality. Your internal world is the blueprint for your external experience. And now you know, and knowing this, you have the power to shift everything. The patterns of the past, the chains of conditioning, they only hold you if you believe they do, if you continue to give them your energy. But now you have the awareness, you have the choice. You can choose to step out of the illusion. You can choose to dismantle the prison walls brick by emotional brick by simply changing your inner state, by choosing self-love over self-judgment, by choosing presence over distraction, by choosing acceptance over resistance. This is the alchemy. This is the true hidden magic. It begins with your breath. It begins with your awareness. It begins with your willingness to truly feel, truly heal, and truly allow the boundless energy of the universe to flow through you, not against you. This power, your power, it doesn't shout. It doesn't demand. It simply is. It resides in the quiet confidence of knowing who you are. It lives in the stillness between your thoughts. It pulses in the deep rhythm of your heart. You are a vibrational being. You are a frequency. And the world around you is simply reflecting back the frequency you are emitting. If you are emitting a frequency of lack, of fear, of struggle, that is precisely what you will experience. But if you begin to consciously, deliberately emit a frequency of abundance, of love, of joy, of profound inner peace, then your outer reality will begin to shift miraculously to match that new, higher frequency. This is not wishful thinking. This is universal law. This is the physics of consciousness. Your journey is not about fixing what's broken, because you are not broken. Your journey is about remembering what was forgotten. It's about shedding the layers of conditioning, the false beliefs, the protective mechanisms that once served a purpose but now only hold you back. It's about returning to your original blueprint, your pristine, powerful essence. The universe has been waiting for you to remember. Your soul has been yearning for you to come home. This moment, right here, right now, is that homecoming. It's the beginning of a profound, radical self-reclamation. It's the moment you stop fighting the current and begin to flow effortlessly, powerfully, with the divine intelligence of the universe. So, if you feel this resonance, if this truth has struck a chord deep within your being, understand that this is not just about listening to words. This is about an activation. This is about a deep cellular remembering. It's about igniting the dormant power within you. It's about taking responsibility for your own energy, for your own state, and realizing that within that responsibility lies unimaginable freedom. The freedom to create a life that truly reflects your highest potential. The freedom to finally embody the magnificent being you were always destined to be. This is your moment. This is your turning point. If this hits you deep, if these words ignited something profound within you, drop a comment below right now. Let the world know you're back. Let them know you're remembering. This is the moment you shift it all. This is the moment you reclaim your sovereign power. Like, share, speak. This is your personal revolution. Step into it.